Yo, streaming. Don't give it up, Animax streaming. Don't give it up, Nuxie streaming. Don't give it up, Rico streaming. Don't give it up. Here's how the story goes. You find out about a manga and Shonen Jump. There's no doubt the virgin whose eyes is on it, he'll sing. I'll be king of the virgins. I'm gonna be king. Yo. Ho.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Animac here from Anime Uproar. Welcome to another episode of the One Piece Virgin Podcast. In this episode, which is episode 12, we're discussing the Skypiea arc and chapters 237 to 259. Briggs, what's our next week's homework?
Next week.
Thank you, Nux. You got it.
All right, next week we're going until chapter. What did I say? 280.
280. It's 260 through 280. We're a professional here on the One Piece Virgin all the time.
Oh yeah, I even came up with the chapters. Boy, am I on point today. Hell
so yeah, as
anyway.
you can hear, guys, Nux and Briggs are in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs. What up, Chad lads?
And along with those guys, we have a highly requested guest, a young man known as the King of Lightning.
You. What up, people? How are you doing today?
And I am told that King of Lightning is a relevant guest for this arc, so we'll see why.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the first 20 chapters, you've seen why, or gotten a little taste.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so I'm
thinking of some divine punishment.
100%.
Yeah, it seems like Eneru's power is lightning.
Yeah.
So that's what I gathered. So that was cool. But yeah, we'll talk about it.
You got the right guy, 100%, bro. Like you.
All right, nice. Yeah, he was. Man, One Piece has in these last few arcs has had so many epic character introductions: Blackbeard, Whitebeard, Doflamingo, and now we have Eneru. Like so many crazy characters are being introduced. I'm losing track. I'm like, yo, Mihawk here.
We had Bellamy.
Fucking everyone.
Bellamy.
Yeah, not Bellamy.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Bellamy's great, guys.
Dude, when I think tier list of One Piece villains from like most terrifying to least terrifying, Bellamy the hyena is like SS plus.
But like just genuinely petrified of like, oh wait, what? And then just gets, oh, do you know what a punch is, dude? Like, oh, that was fierce, bro. Like looking like Saitama before Saitama. Bellamy, no. But Crocodile though, Crocodile's fire.
That was last week. Not doing that again.
Yeah, I agree. Crocodile's a much better villain than Bellamy. At least so far. Apparently Bellamy comes back, so we'll see.
That was some hot take there, Hanamac. You think Crocodile's
Before we get into it,
Bellamy?
Before we get into it, guys, if you enjoyed the One Piece Virgin Podcast, please share it with your friends who are either One Piece fans or looking to start One Piece, maybe. It would mean a lot to us to get this podcast shared all over the place. And now, let's get into it. So, in this arc, we arrive to the mythical sky islands of Skypiea, Godland Skypiea. And I have to say, in terms of world building, this was so far an awesome arc. I love the fantasy aspect of it, the different types of clouds and all this stuff that is completely unrealistic from the perspective of physics, and yet somehow makes sense the way Oda explains it. So I dig it. I'm into it. And I thought that first thing I want to talk about is a bit of a side note, but Robin's power, Robin's devil fruit, it actually, like, at first it seems kind of like weird, but it seems actually quite OP from when we look at see it in action. So I wanted to ask, does she have like a range limit?
Yes.
Or is her power limitless? Because she seemed to save Usopp from the ocean, the sky ocean, like quite far away. And she was still in the boat, right?
So I believe that Oda described her range as 500 hanahanas or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
Like 500 arm lengths, basically.
No, not even, man. Like, Oda's things, I don't even think make actual sense.
Yeah, they don't.
Right, yeah, like in part he's trolling, but it's like, because like Luffy helped her out, like we've got to stretch down there first, and then she used Luffy's flesh to make the eyeball to kind of see where Usopp was. So it's like, that was a nice little combo right there where they're able to save Usopp, because Usopp's doing some stupid things. He's testing in the waters, which was great, mind you. But yeah, it's like there's no, like, I think Oda's also said that like Luffy can stretch like something Gumu. It's like, okay, like whatever,
It's basically just saying there is a range, but like it's not really specified.
Right.
Yeah, and I never even thought of the fact that she could manifest eyes on
Dude,
her.
I completely forgot about that. When I described her fruit to you, I said it was just limbs and like body.
It's
parts,
any part
but
of her body.
Any
It's
part of her body. I
it's
forgot
any
about
part of
that.
her body. Yeah, and like
She ended up being like Mezi Shoujo or Shoji or whatever his name is, Mezzo Shoji, the guy from MHA who can just like manifest everything.
I mean, except she's way better. Like she could manifest it on other people.
Yeah.
Right,
No,
like,
yeah,
like from deep range too. It's like she could be like, like not even like looking at you, like around the corner, just be like boom, and all of a sudden, what the hell's happening? So it's very useful power, truly.
Yeah, and
I mean,
it doesn't
Animax, to be
seem like
fair,
it
do you have
first.
any idea how many boobs she could have at one point?
Thank you. Thank Christ. Finally, like someone gets it, bro. Like my God, bro. Like look, like in the future, like what you guys need to do is like, you need to like start ranking the One Piece girls. Like for me, Robin's number one, just a facto number one. For primarily that reason. Like you don't think about harem, she is the harem. She is the harem. Like she's a walking harem. Like my God. Like you can't beat that. I'm sorry, I had a tangent.
But at some point, it's kind of like, bro, like this is kind of like not even human anymore. It's weird. But no, in terms of the devil
forgot
fruit,
you were into that vanilla shit, man. Come on.
in terms of the devil fruit, I thought it was when I first saw her devil fruit compared to all the ones we've seen before, I was like, this isn't that good. But the more you see of it, the more impressive it actually is.
Yeah.
I
believe
still
in
feel bad for that
Alabasta.
warrior that she fucked up in Alabasta. They hyped this guy up as the #1 warrior, and she just took him out in a second.
Oh, hell, dude.
Yeah, I feel bad for Pell, man. And
Yeah,
he went out
Phil
with a
had a
bang
sick devil fruit
Oh.
too, bro. His devil fruit was awesome.
Yeah, he had a cool
Yeah.
devil fruit. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
hyped
The-
up this
the
guy. Like,
Falcons-
he looked so cool. And his two moments are getting slapped by Robin and going out with a bang, which was kind of like, it was beautiful. And like, but like, I feel bad for the dude.
Hell, man. Oh God, Pell's such a meme. He's such a meme. I love him though, but he just like he was cool. But like Robin, like that's her powers are actually based for like assassination back in the day. It's like I remember back in what was it, Whiskey Peak? Like she crops on in, and all of a sudden it's like okay, ships just blown up. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, well, how'd she do that? You know,
Yeah, it's like, why did that guy
Robin's
just
great.
fucking strangle himself with an arm that came
Yeah,
out of his
yeah.
ass? I don't know, man. Just fucking did it. But one thing I loved at the beginning of this arc is when they go up to these islands, and it's just such a sight to behold, like a white cloud ocean. It's insane, like fantasy land. And Luffy's just like, I love this place. The smell of adventure is overpowering. And it's just, to me, that's such quintessential Luffy. He just loves the adventure and the prospect of what's going to happen. No actual plan for how to leave or anything. No actual idea of what's going to happen, but it's like he loves the idea of the adventure and the potential of all the fun he can have.
And as shit continues to hit the fan and go wrong, all he cares about is this adventure. They mentioned this island that, or this fuck, I don't want to make a spoil by saying something. They mentioned this island that like on that like sacred land, right? That you can't like step on, and the first thing like Luffy does is he wants to go there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I noted that too. It's like that is a very bad idea to tell to Luffy. Oh, there's this land that you can't possibly ever go.
Yeah.
Like you can't ever go there, Luffy. It's forbidden. It's forbidden. You might as well just like put him into a cannon and fire him there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you see like a Luffy like a lot of times he just like goes up on his own, puts his head down, just starts running, like, yeah, adventure, ooh yeah, and he just goes off. And so you can't restrict Luffy. And the Shroud's like, you know what, fine, like, we just can't stop him. Like, let's just go follow our captain. Let's make sure he doesn't kill himself. Fair enough.
Yeah,
but
I like how when they meet all those like Sky Priest people, like right in the beginning, and they're explaining how it's like the ideal world. It's like so nice and peaceful and pleasant, and there's these dials which are cool and affect the power system, and we're all just like, And also, let me tell you about God. I was like, wait.
Oh yeah. It's awesome. It's actually pretty damn dope too. And I just seeing Nami like looking around to like all the adventure. It's amazing.
It's like it's evolving this arc, not the overall massive world of One Piece. It's not like huge political stuff is happening necessarily, like throughout the rest of the world. This is its little enclosed adventure, and it shows how even this one little nook of the One Piece world has its culture, has its people, has its tendencies, and has its God.
Right, like a place with like people with like wings 10,000 meters above the like a place of legends, like heaven, if you would. Like it's even called like the first place you go to is like Angel Beach. It's like, okay, it's like this is really like kind of crazy. Where like we're really in God's realm, but God just an asshole right now.
And the way the arc starts, it's like Skypiea seems like this sublime place. Because after all the time that it took to get there, they're looking at it like a fantasy land. And then they get there and it's like, oh, you thought it was some mere fantasy land? Nah, fam. It's way cooler and way more awesome than you expected.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but there's that one little thing. There's that one little divine punishment thing that happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Jenbury says
Can't get too right.
5,000 magical bitches.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Jenbury.
But back to it. One part that I always find hilarious is that little old lady Amazon who's like, "Yeah, you owe us however ridiculous amount of money," and then they're like, and she just lets them pass like nothing.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna stop you. I'm just gonna tell you that's what you owe.
The X-Toll, I think it was called.
The X-Toll, yes.
The X-Toll, yeah.
And even
that was great. Yeah.
We meet that old man. What was his name?
Gan Fall, the Sky Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he wants that in exchange for the whistle or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Gan Fall is the former Kami, and he was overthrown by this guy called Enel. And I thought it was cool because Gan Fall himself seems like an interesting character. And he's obviously noble and he helps people. And it's funny because he has a bird that has the horse fruit. So it then becomes a flying horse.
Well, a Pegasus. Get it right. A Pegasus. A legendary creature of myth. Respect it.
Yeah.
And maybe pig and polka dotted, but it's okay.
But it's not actually a Pegasus. It's a
close enough.
Horse. It's a flying
close
bird
enough.
Horse, okay.
It works. I respect it. What's it called again? Pierre?
Yeah, his name is Pierre.
It's not as weird as the gun that ate the dog fruit or whatever in the previous arc.
Yeah, from Alabasta, right? Yeah, there's some weird, funny ones for sure.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys notice that moment when the ship is getting like abducted by that big crab? And everyone's like, Usopp's like, yo, what's going on? They're taking the ship, all this shit. And Sanji's like, bro, why did Nami put on a t-shirt?
Oh yeah.
And
that's very important.
Everyone's like, Sanji, bro, we lost the ship. It's gonna be like, why did Nami put on the t-shirt, man?
Yo, Sanji's priorities are in the right place. I respect
true.
It.
He loves food and ladies.
Yeah. I'm a man of culture, bro. Nami was looking with the like the sky bikini. I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty fire. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's something going wrong here. Cover up what? The fan service is gone. That's a problem.
It's like, yo, some shit is going down. Yeah, Nami put on.
Yeah. And also remember how the crab had like God just tattooed on it? It's like, why is God on this crab, bro? What's going on here?
Yeah, I feel like that was like an English thing that they didn't even necessarily expect the Japanese readers to understand. But another thing about Nami, there was in the question corner, there was a commenter who's like, hey Oda, you say that One Piece is all about dreams, but in my dreams, Nami is always wearing a bikini. What's up with that?
I mean, I feel like his dreams come true. Nami wears a bikini for probably 90% of the series.
Yeah.
You guys know that I love Nami so far, for sure. And Briggs, you actually made a Nami video. I'm scared to watch it because I think it's probably going to have spoilers.
Oh, you can't watch it.
You can't watch it.
But I respect the fact that you appreciate my girl.
But of course.
I mean, he was kind of going in order of Straw Hats, so yeah.
Well, hopefully over time you'll learn to respect Robin and put Robin where she belongs at the top. But I mean,
one thing I have to say about the One Piece Virgin podcast, and this is definitely one of the greatest attributes of the entire thing, it's the fact that both Briggs and I stan a certain Hancock.
Can I just say, it's like Nami, Robin on top, Boa Hancock so high, she's looking down on these women so hard that she's looking up, boys.
Oh, baby! Preach, Briggs!
Okay. Anyway, the point is, I think Robin is interesting so far and mysterious and stuff, but I don't think her character so far has been developed enough to compare her to Nami because we know a lot more about Nami.
Can't judge
I was just going on hotness, honestly.
Yeah. Overtime. No doubt about that.
The other thing that we noticed about Skypiea, and this is very interesting. So it goes back to the previous Jaya arc and that missing treasure that Noland, the liar, talked about. It turns out that somehow half of Jaya, or a big section of Jaya, the island, was actually blown up into the sky and is now part of Skypiea. And this is where this gold is thought to be hidden. And some of the native giants who lived there, this happened like 400 years ago, they became the Shandians or whatever. And they're constantly now fighting against the Sky people. So there's been a conflict going on in Skypiea for hundreds of years. Again, emphasizing that even though this looks like this paradise, there's a lot going on behind the surface that is not so tranquil.
Right.
And it's you have a constant theme of God and sacred land going on in this arc, and because everything in the sky is clouds, and so this one verse or this one actual part of the blue sea is like the sacred land because it's so different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Like it's even called like the white sea, like at the very top, and then even God's main henchmen are called priests. So like all of this is just tied to that theme, and it keeps on pushing very, very strong. Yeah.
Yes, and the other thing I noticed was, so when Gan Fall, I think it was Gan Fall who was saying this, in the past, before the part of Jaya went up into the air, it was very rare for the Sky people to get any artifacts from the ground, and it was like small things like a flag or whatever. But then Jaya went up like a huge part of the island, and that became the sacred land. However, clearly something went wrong here. Like the fact that such a huge piece of an island went up in the air shouldn't be possible. So I feel like they haven't really explained it, but I feel like we're going to learn later on at some point that something out of the ordinary happened in order for this to occur.
Do you have any theories, Adamak?
I don't know. One thing is that I do remember in terms of Robin saying that there's a lot of like history to the world that is unknown. So I'm guessing it's going to relate to that because it was so long ago, but I don't have any specific theories.
Cool. Also, so I like how it's connected to Mont Blanc Cricket and Nolan the Liar. And Nolan the Liar, when he went back to show them this island of gold and it was gone, he's like, it must have sank to the bottom of the sea, but now we know where it is.
Right, it's in the sky, exactly. And then also it's pretty sad too how the entire time it was like, oh, he was right, like, but they just assumed that it was in the ocean. So it's like that story, that fable that's told for centuries was actually true, but it's told as a children fable to tell, to kind of convince the kids not to lie like he did. So
yeah, but who would believe that a large chunk of an island would go up into the sky? Like that's so crazy.
Right. But that's the thing though. It's like that's like one of the things of Jaya though. Like Jaya, when you have Blackbeard talk about how dreams never die, and then you see how the characters have to go to Skypiea and how they have to go up this giant vertical current, and then even then there's another layer of that sea on top. It's like that fantastic way of doing it is very, very clean on Otis' part, very clean. So like it's a true blue adventure in that sense, and I do love Skypiea for that reason. Like it's a genuine mystical adventure, and it's kind of like what the Grand Line should. It's very synonymous with the Grand Line itself and why we're there in the first place. I love it. Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't like it because it's disconnected from the world, and we just had the Alabasta Saga, which just expanded the world so much. But I love Skypiea so much.
As you keep on reading the arc, you may get glimmers of, okay, well, maybe folks don't like this or that. But I think that when you look at it from the standpoint of Skypiea is genuinely so, like the adventure arc, like genuinely so that the characters have been seeking. Like, remember when, I think it was back in like East Blue when they're talking about how like things of like, giants or like myth and legend. And all of a sudden you have Little Garter where it's like, there's two giants fighting. What's going on here right now, Doug? Like the myth, the legend, the lore, it all expands, and Skypiea is a great way to do it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think every arc has its role, and maybe Alabasta was with expanding the world and putting all these things together. But with Skypiea, it's really like signifying what Luffy's all about. He's about going on adventures, and that's what he wants to do, and how crazy this world really is.
Right, exactly.
And
I like
dreams
to say that
too. Go ahead.
The Skypiea arc is pretty much a microcosm of the entire One Piece story. It's like its own little enclosed tale with its own politics and its own adventure and its own fantasy. And the dreams are real, and it's about things that are impossible becoming possible, and not to doubt people based on logic necessarily, but to doubt people dependent on where their heart is. There's a lot of heart and soul in this arc that really makes me think of this Skypiea arc, like this 60 chapter arc or whatever, as pretty much a microcosm of the entire One Piece story. Because obviously the world is much more developed and the politics are much more thought through in like, the 1,000 chapters we have.
Of course.
But this 60 chapter arc is pretty much what One Piece is all about in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you've said this for a lot of arcs, Nux.
I haven't.
Well, like I said, every arc has its role and in different ways connects to
Skypiea is probably even more. Skypiea probably even more so because Skypiea. Again, no spoilers, obviously, but even when you look at like the main baddie right now, God and his priest, it's like that in of itself, and then who Luffy is as a person, and then what you see the Skypieans have to, like how they have to kind of like submit themselves to the fear of this current God. And how this plays a role in like Luffy's character and how that kind of shapes over time, like the greater themes of One Piece, it hits that very hard. So I'm trying not to spoil, obviously, but like
especially
a lot
with
of
the dreams.
Of One Piece, yeah. Like the
Skypiea was supposed to be this impossible place, much like Luffy's dream to be the Pirate King. It's supposed to be impossible, and yet they're able to get here despite everyone not believing it even exists.
Yeah, even before Animac mentioned how, like, okay, well, look at like this sacred land. Like, we can't go in the sacred land. Luffy's like, I'm going here, absolutely. It's like that notion of okay, freedom too is very, very strong, and yet he's in God's territory. So it's like, okay,
Oh yeah, like Luffy doesn't let anything stand in his way. No one's title, no one's power, nothing intimidates this dude. And I think that's like a common theme for sure. And I think that Skypiea, the idea of it is very symbolic in terms of how lofty and impossible Luffy's ultimate goal of becoming the Pirate King and fighting One Piece seems to many others who constantly laugh at him, and yet he keeps going after it. And yeah, like I have to hand it to Oda. It's like he came up with the craziest arc he could possibly come up with, and then he gave himself the challenge of now I have to actually somehow explain this in a way that makes sense. Because he's like, let's have a fucking island in the sky and all this crazy stuff, and now I have to actually explain how you can get up to it with a boat and how you can like what the world is there like and all these different powers that they have. And in saying that, I thought that the dial power system stuff was pretty cool. I thought that was like a cool interesting technology that that is unique to Skypiea and can be very useful in battle, as we saw. Because at the end of the arc, or at the end of this segment of the arc, we have a whole like clusterfunk happening with the Shandians fighting the Sky People, fighting the Straw Hats. They're all fighting each other, randomly coming upon each other and just like fighting each other. I thought that was pretty funny. Like at one point, we had Chopper just like walk by one of the dudes without even noticing him, and he's like, "Is that a raccoon? What was that?
Yep.
What was that?"
Yep.
Even on the island.
Even when you have the mad lad Zoro making every single wrong turn he could possibly make.
Of course, without question, bro, without question. And also when you have the Gan Fall fight against Shura, right? I think it's named Shura. The like the aerial combat scene.
Oh yeah,
like
the
Gan
first
Fall
battle.
and yeah, like the first battle, right? And then how you have again more synonymous with Sky theme, where you have the Knight of the Sky facing another Sky opponent, one of God's priests, and it like how that continues to play out very nicely, and how we see like these new forms of combat that we've never seen before in One Piece, and how they are orchestrated. Like it's a very cool thing where like something like that, and like the like using the dials as weapons in various ways, whether it's like breath dial or like the impact dial. That's he's superb at that world building stuff. Like that is Oda's bread and butter. That world building.
That's
and
what
the
I was going to say.
So strong.
As far as world building goes, like as Animac was saying, he explains how to get to the island and that it exists and how it works there and the ecosystem and like and then he goes ahead and explains this whole dial thing. Like he builds it up from nothing and it's cool and it fits and it's all great. But when it comes to like little technicalities, like what's the range of what's your name? What's the name of Robin's?
Robin or like Luffy's.
That's 500 hata hatas. It's like screw that. Focus on, the raccoon with the
world.
blue nose running around.
No, focus on the world and the details of that rather than like the powers and how far. Like it's not about power scaling.
About dreams, bro.
The power scaling is like relatively a thing because you do have like, let's say, like for example, Crocodile is a Shichibukai, and that was like, whoa, a warlord. What the hell is that? And then we saw beforehand in Mihawk, he's also one of these guys too. It's like, goddamn, like what's going on here? Like, how does this work between someone like Mihawk, who's Zoro's dream, and then you have Crocodile?
I like that you're bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yes, because as far as but that's not a power system. That's like a level of authority. And that's what I've mentioned in the past why I like bounties so much as opposed to like many other shows like Seven Deadly Sins and Dragon Ball have this guy has a power level of over 9,000, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you have a like distinct power level, then you're going to be stronger than everyone that has a lower power level. But bounties aren't like that. Bounties are clout levels. Okay, so since it's a clout counter, for the most part, the stronger guy will have a higher bounty. If someone has a bounty of like 1 billion, then a guy who has a bounty of 10 is probably not going to be as terrifying.
Bro, I don't want to spoil. I don't want to say anything, bro. Don't. Yeah, I won't. Nux is on. Nux is kind of right. I'll just keep that simple.
Well, part of the beauty is that bounties aren't always accurate, right? They're not always accurate.
Yeah, it's like they're not exactly like they're not as like for a period of time at the beginning with East Blue. Okay, yeah, fine. But then once you go into the Grand Line, things kind of get a little bit hazy there because again, they're mainly based on clout, and how you attain the clout is through your actions in the world itself. So your actions can be misinterpreted by other folks as well, and then so your bounty could be a lower or higher than it should be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. That is true.
That's why playing the game is so important. And there are many examples that come to mind that I don't want to mention due to spoilery reasons. But like the fact that if you become a warlord, they freeze your bounty, right? Like every time you see a warlord, you're like, yikes, this was the guy before they froze his bounty. Like Crocodile was like 80 million or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what would
Flamingo's 340 million.
That's Doflamingo, yeah.
Right. But it's like over the course of like the years, would Crocodile, because his bounty was frozen, was he still an 80 million strong kind of dude? Like, is he, like, it's been how many years since it was frozen? Like, maybe he's actually more of like a 100 or 200, 300, 300 like with Dofi. So that's why it always kind of gets a little bit shaky when it comes to the system as a means of gauging power. It's a nice way to do it.
It's not a perfect way to gauge power. That's what's great about it. It's the way to gauge clout. And just like many people who chase clout on the internet, very often it's fake.
Yeah, and you can hide your true intentions like Crocodile did by having his whole Mr. Zero role. They're not even aware of all the shit he's doing behind the scenes. If they were, I'm sure his bounty would be even higher.
Well, they kick him out of the warlord system.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it is an interesting system, and there's room to trick the system and beat it, which is an interesting dimension. There was another thing in terms of power system here called Mantra, which allows at least the to predict the moves of others. So I thought that was pretty interesting. It was kind of like a new thing in One Piece.
Yeah. And so it's like that whole, again, kind of like how in this world, there's so much more to explore and so much more. And so even though we're in this crazy place, you have a whole new like power ability now where it's like, wait, hold on a second now. We have devil fruits that have always been a thing. And like, remember how like devil fruits were like myth, like, oh my God, like, East Blue, yes, he is. What? Devil fruit? Like that's, oh my God, it makes a mythical ability. And then you go into the Grand Line and then you have, Alabasta where there's devil fruits everywhere, like Bone Clay, Mr. One, Crocodile, like all these guys. You have a dog, you have a cannon. I'm sorry. You have a cannon that is dog fruit. It's like, what the hell? What's happening here? You have a horse, a bird that ate a horse fruit. It's like, okay, this is weird stuff. And all of a sudden you have this thing called Mantra. It's like, wait, what? Wait, what's happening here with Mantra? Now these guys are able to, and again, that's also very godlike, if you will, like very like I guess heavenly, where like you're able to actually like kind of like see what someone does before they actually do it. So yeah. So Oda's great at that kind of stuff. He really is good.
And fun fact, Hunter x Hunter has a MILF that ate the lolly fruit.
I don't know what that one, Doug. Talk about Miss Krieger.
And you thought that the MILF simp background for Animex image was not going to be, important
Relevant.
in this episode.
Are you a Biscuit fan, dog?
I think she's cool. I'm not like I wouldn't
She's
like
cool, but you mean you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
No, I'm not.
No,
not in, that
in fact, the character that I'm interested in Hunter x Hunter is what's her name, the lady with the mermaid stuff. That was a joke. Don't.
What lady?
What's her name?
What?
Mermaid lady. You know who I'm talking about. The girl with the cute mermaid Nen power.
Cute mermaid Nendo.
It's called Cute Mermaid. She's the girl that's like stalking Gon.
Oh, the one that becomes like a mermaid later on because of the effects of the chimera.
But,
yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
She cleans up nice though. She cleans up.
Exactly. Nice. She cleans up nice, but then when she's when she's been
everyone in
the room for too damn long.
Palm. Yeah.
Yes, Palm. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Zazan could fucking get it, bro.
And she did. Oh baby.
Yeah.
And she was turned into quite the pile of ashes.
Yeah, no, that was the saddest moment in Hunter. Anyway.
Okay.
Right.
So
anyway, moving on.
Did Nux just cut for me? I think he did.
Yeah, he does sometimes.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Is he cutting? Like, because that was a hard cut. I was like, man,
in terms of Eneru, though, I thought this guy was very cool. Because first, I always respect a dude who has a bunch of, like, chicks, like, peeling his banana. Like, that, to me, respect. And also,
the
he seems to...
metaphorical level, of course.
Yeah, and he seems to constantly know what's going on, and he seems to see everything as a game, and he's just, like, playing this big game, and everyone's, like, his pawns, like, on a chessboard. So I, so far, definitely think he's a dope character. Possibly a villain from what we know so far, but I don't even know, man. We'll see.
The I know I can't think of like the again like he's the god that kind of he's the bad guy. So but he's also a god, which is just the title, but how God could kind of play with our lives at any given point in time. Like that's what he's doing. Like he has this. Enel essentially is like, how do you say? I'm trying to have these spoilers here. He's like, I mean, maybe they touch upon in the chapters too, but okay, hold on. Do you know about Gan Fall and like what he's about or like what he is about? Gan Fall.
Gan Fall?
Yeah. Gan Fall. Yeah.
I know he was the kami, and then he was overthrown, but we haven't. He hasn't revealed yet why or how he was overthrown.
Okay. So,
but yeah, I do know that Gan Fall, he was trying to like negotiate peace between the Shandians and the Sky people, right? But then that kind of broke down when Eneru took over. Right.
Okay. So then you got to the scene then when they like Enel arrives on, or Eneru, I guess in this case, he arrives on the merry-go, and then he takes out like Sanji and Usopp. You got to that?
Yeah. So
that was the last chapter.
Okay. Yeah, the final chapter.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah.
That. And then it ends off with Eneru talking to Gan Fall or Ganafor. And
good. Great. Yes. So then I guess in that talk you kind of like the nature of kind of what is good and then what is not evil, but like good nature and bad nature.
So Briggs is wrong because the arc where we stopped reading ends right when he shows up. We don't get the conversation yet.
Did you read 259? I swear it ends off with them saying... Like,
it ends off with he fries Sanji. That's how it ends.
Oh,
and
yeah. 260 then.
Sanji's heart is not beating! Like,
yeah, so it's... When he shows up, kind of, his cool entrance, that's when it ends. And he kind of addresses Gan Fall, and then it ends. So they didn't have an actual parlay yet.
Yeah, it was so sad. F's in the chat. Sanji, he died on that day. No more Sanji in the series.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Stop it.
I'm sure.
No. I don't remember this part. I don't remember this stuff, man. God damn it, bro. I feel bad now. Sanji's a fanboy, bro.
Sanji cannot die because the man is a simp of culture.
Sanji.
He cannot die.
I mean, that's what you think.
Sanji is a gentleman. I want to say he's a simp.
So the chapter ends.
He is a true gent.
There we go. Yeah. Listen, I always got to back up my boy, Sanji. I always got to back up my boy. All right. He is Japan 101. And I love it.
So
I will say too that I think we have to mention the fight with Zoro against that random Shandian dude. It was a brief fight, but I thought it was a cool fight.
Can I just say that the chapter ended with Enel saying, "Is that any way to greet an old friend? It's been 6 years, former Kami Gan Fall."
Former Kami.
Like former
You mean Kami, Kami?
Yeah, Kami as in yeah.
As in
we
communist.
had to clarify, bro.
He wasn't a communist, Briggs.
Like man had a hammer and single tattoo.
Oh shit! I've been misunderstanding One Piece this entire time.
He's like, bro, I thought Skypiea was about communism.
Oh, bro.
Skypiea is just the Cold War reenacted.
Oh my god, bro.
No, but one thing that I thought was pretty interesting in terms of the whole Eneru thing is why exactly did he overthrow this guy? Why did he feel the need? And there was also a distinction I feel made between Kami and God in the text.
Yes.
So it's like Kami is a title, God is more of like the concept, but Eneru with his power, he's almost like beyond what a Kami would be.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's like the title is real to him. It's not just a title. It's like I am the one. Like I am like the ultimate, and no one. Like, his powers reflect that too. It's like the thing is called judgment when he tries to smite Conis. It's like he tries to smite her. It's like okay. And then if you go back into like a lot of mythos, you look at like a lot of like the top echelon kind of deities.
Yeah, like Zeus. And
shit. Like they utilize lightning as a means of execution. So
and let's not forget, this man has earlobes so gorgeous he would make any woman immediately ovulate by just looking at him.
Yo, I ovulate when I see them.
He could hear everything on the island too.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I have a question. Why doesn't he just then destroy the Shandians if he's that powerful?
He can. I feel like he doesn't want to. He'd rather just have stuff going on where people could peel his banana while war's happening than actually needing to deal with it.
He's so
if that's the case, then it makes sense. He just wants to have fun and play the game. Kind of.
Exactly. Like right now, Enel just pretty much chilling for the most part.
Yeah, like Enel literally fried Sanji, and he literally says like, I didn't even want to do that. Like.
Yeah. It's like over the course of this, is like for the most part, like even like the priests, like they just do his bidding, but it's not like for him, it's never a big deal. For him, it's never a big deal. He's always kind of chilling because no one can really challenge him. It's like I'm like dude, look, I'm lightning. Like dude, what up?
He's a Logia too, and as we know,
even the crocodile was saying this guy's lightning. He's like, bro, like sit down, man. Like, bro. Come on, bro.
You've never seen raw power in the entire series until this point. You've never seen raw power quite like Enel.
This is the strongest character we've seen so far in the series. Potentially. Obviously, we've seen Mihawk. We've obviously seen Mihawk. But like, in regards to power and... Well, that's a whole argument.
No spoilers.
I feel like lightning is just a tad bit faster than sand.
Oh, just a tad.
Someone in the chat just said that. You see, Eneru just wants to live a quiet life. Coming in with the JoJo references.
No, but in terms of Eneru so far, he definitely seems like a cool guy. Like I guess I don't understand why he would even bother like punishing like these random little angel dudes, but maybe it's just to kind of reinforce his power.
Just reinforce himself as God. Yo, do we know how he can hear everything that's going on? Is it through his lightning ability or through mantra?
I think it's through his mantra.
You think it's through mantra? Like his mantra?
I can tell you, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah, it was implied that he just has better mantra than the others.
Yeah.
I feel like this is his observation mantra, coming in clutch.
Essentially, like again, like you'll definitely. I think for like the next sim that you guys want to do, you probably get to that. Well, we get to that point. I think you will. Yeah, I think you will get to that point. So let me not say anything. But what is the case is that because he can, hear a lot more than other folks can, he also knows who is talking bad, who's being blasphemous. Mm-hmm. So blasphemy must be punished. And that's why he kind of does it, where it's like, you can't talk bad about God. Like, I'm God. So if you do, then...
I think he can hear everything that goes on to the island just due to the sheer mass of his earlobes.
So, yeah, he takes this role very seriously kind of thing. Like, I will be the god of this new world.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like it's seriously, but also not seriously. Like,
No, he's serious.
I feel like he's so egotistical. It's to the point that he almost believes he is some sort of divine ruler.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah, without question. Without
a
question.
lot of people who are really powerful end up being drunk with power. That's kind of a thing that happens. So,
but then,
I wouldn't be surprised.
But then, look at Gan Fall though. Gan Fall's like he has like a pumpkin farm, and he's just kind of chilling. Like
he's like the thing I love the most is pumpkin pudding or some shit.
For some reason, it reminded me of I'm thinking of like Thanos now. Like after it's all said and done, he's just chilling on the farm. Like whatever. Like now I rest. It's like so. It's just like I love the parallels there between like look at Enel, then look at Gan Fall, and that kind of like how like those characters are kind of one and the same, but of different kind of worlds, and it's cool in that way. Like it really is cool.
I have no idea in terms of Eneru's actual backstory and motivations, but I am curious to find out more about him because he definitely made a epic introduction and entrance so far, and he's clearly OP. So I am curious to learn more about him.
Yeah, without question.
When it comes to Thanos, maybe by Thanos you should have gone for the head, but when it comes to Enel, you can't decapitate lightning.
So. Yeah, bro. Yeah, love it. Oh my god, bro. Now, what about the what about the like the characters or the fight so far? Like, what do you think about that overall so far?
Like I said, I thought that the one Zoro fight was cool. Like Zoro, as usual, gets injured, but it was like a short fight, but a cool fight where Zoro shows off some of his newly perfected techniques, and I liked it.
I like how Zoro, like in the middle of the forest, everyone gets lost. He's like, "All right, fam, time to start training." Gets like this big rock. He's putting it on his swords. He's like, lifting weights and whatever. And people are attacking him while he's doing that. And he just a few of the like random lackeys that he just puts down immediately.
So
the Goatman, yeah, bro, it's great.
I don't want to spoil anything, Animac. Did Zoro use a specific attack during this fight?
No, he did. He
did. Okay,
he must have. Yeah, he must have.
Did he defeat his opponent?
Yeah, he did. He like cut him across the chest.
Yeah, and it was an attack from range because he was fighting against the dude with pistols, right?
Yeah.
So what I love about this is that every arc.
Yeah.
So what I love about this is, so in the East Blue, he was this big fish, but then he was kind of knocked down a peg once Mihawk absolutely destroyed him, and he realized how weak he is and insignificant, and how far away he is from his goal, and how big the world really is. And then you get in the Alabasta arc, and he steps it up a notch, surpasses his limits, and is able to cut steel, which is something that Mihawk could obviously do. And if you notice, Mihawk was able to slice a galleon in half from a distance. And now in the Sky Island arc, we get to see Zoro take it one step further, and now he was able to defeat his opponent from range.
Oh, yeah.
So did he just chuck the sword at him, or?
No.
No, he actually cut the air. He cuts the air itself, and it actually flies towards the enemy.
Oh, so he's pulling a Deku finger flick.
Pretty much. But with,
yeah.
But with the sharpness of a sword. A finger flick with the sharpness of a sword. So it's not just like blowing the person away. It's actually like a slice.
Okay.
It's kind of like Ichigo's Getsuga Tensho.
Yeah. Easy.
Except it's a slash, not like a laser beam.
True. Though, no, Ichigo's not important. But but it's like you can kind of see like over the course of like these arcs, he's been like doing like this training, and he's slowly honing his skills. And so in this case, he couldn't deal with the weird fighting style of the Skypeans, the Shanians, because the one guy, I want to say his name is like Benny. I forgot his name. Goddamn, I forgot his name. I know I'm getting it wrong, but how this guy was, because of like the weird boosters on his heels, he could actually move without actually making any like muscle movements, and that caught Zoro off guard entirely. And then the dude also has like these guns that shine out light, and he's like, and Zoro got blinded too. So it was like this was a very strange fight for him, because like you can see how like because of the strange environment, the Strats aren't used to fighting in these weird kind of styles where like you have Luffy, Sanji, Usopp against like one of the priests, and it's like, dude, what's happening? Like, why are these balls? Like, why is one ball a flower, one ball is lightning, one ball's blowing up? There's a snake in this ball. Like, wait, what's going on right now? Like, even sure with the strings, like, dude, what? Like, just random strings in the atmosphere that you can't even see, like holding cats down. So that's one thing that Oda's been really exploring through and through in Skypiea, and it's really nice way of actually orchestrating the whole thing of, like, you know, the whole world, like the One Piece story with like one arc itself, where it's like all this crazy stuff happens and it's very unique and also isolated, but just another part of the grand overall story. So overall good stuff.
Yeah, that one dude literally had the power of the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, like literally, like he makes like a dragon. Bro, he makes a Dragon Ball thing.
Yeah, that's probably like a direct shout out by Oda, because Dragon Ball is obviously older than One Piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the fights were cool. I like that against those vassals, or you're calling them priests, probably a different translation.
True.
They had to use teamwork in some of those fights, so I thought that was cool. I like to see the Straw Hats using teamwork and not just having, you know, always soloing everyone.
Oh, one of my favorite moments when it came to teamwork is like when Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji are fighting that one chubby angel guy. And
yeah. That's the Dragon Ball guy, right?
Yeah, Dragon Ball guy.
Dragon Ball guy. So he's fighting Dragon Ball dude, and basically Luffy like makes this epic move where he's like grabbing onto this rope and he's swinging, and like Usopp is jumping, and they just collide into each other. Yeah. And they're both like pulps on the ground, just like bleeding everywhere from just smashing into each other. And Sanji's like, all right, enough of this. You're both listening to me. And both Usopp and Luffy are like, yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after they end up taking him out, when Luffy does the Sanji impression, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, that was great. Yeah. It's like, they're having so much fun, too. It's like, even though, like, they're crazy land, like, you know, like, they're in God's territory, they're having so much fun, too. And, like, that's, you know, like, you always appreciate that, too. It's like everywhere they go, like, or at least for the most part, a lot of times they can still be themselves, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's the thing about Luffy, right? He doesn't care about any, like, social norms or expectations.
Oh, yeah.
He just does his own thing, you know, come hell or high water. And that's why he's such a interesting, crazy, high-energy character. I will say, though, that the one Shandian chick was hot. I can't not comment on it, Nux, man.
Oh my god, I know this now because someone Rika?
Yeah, Riku or something like that. Yeah.
Rika. Yeah.
Yeah, she was hot, so I have to pay my respects, you know.
To a future MILF.
She is not that old. No way.
Bro, that's the thing, man. I don't only appreciate MILFs, but I also appreciate MILFs, you know. I feel like a lot of people don't nearly enough appreciate MILFs.
Well, anime MILFs are.
Oh my god! And all of a sudden, that image used for Animac is relevant once again, even in Skypiea. Wow.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So another moment that I really, really like is when I think her name's Conis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
When she has to like kind of betray Luffy and Sanji. And Usopp, because like it's like if like one of the rules of Skypiea is if someone is like an outlaw or is breaking the rules, you have to bring them. Like she's the one who called the crab for the thing, and she had to bring them all to the like island for their punishment, basically. And she kind of broke down right towards the end and like admitted everything to them. And Luffy and Sanji are like, "Why the hell are you telling us this? Now you're in trouble too." And like Gan Fall saves her and everything. And I can't spoil anything, but Conis, I think she's like an MVP of this arc. I really like her.
So she's the little angel girl, and yeah, now that you mentioned that, it really is crazy because Enel created this like police state where everyone has to snitch on anyone who's breaking the law and all this other stuff. Like it's pretty scary when you think about it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Jenbury says, "Drop it another 5,000 bits." Thank you.
Thank you, Jen Marie says, we love you. Our sponsor here.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
On the podcast.
Hey, though, everyone cries in One Piece, all right? Everyone that reads One Piece will cry at one point. And it's different for everyone, but I think Animac is going to absolutely lose his mind when he gets to the Amazon Lily arc.
Because there's a MILF.
Shibondi, I think Shibondi is like, yo, like, damn, done. Like,
Technically, none of them. Actually, I can't say anything.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah,
But I like where this is going, guys.
Yeah. Well, how are you liking this arc so far compared to obviously we're only 20 episodes.
Well, actually, no. Well, hold on. Well, what things are there things that you don't like of the arc right now?
I mean, it is a fun arc. Like, I like the fantasy and adventure aspect of it. I don't think so far it's been as impactful as, say, Alabasta or some of the other arcs. Arlong Park, but we're only 1/3 in, so we have to let it play out.
Okay, fair. Yeah, it's fair criticism. So, yeah, I mean, because Alabasta was kind of built up for you can say since the beginning of the Grand Line. Like, Whiskey Peak, like what tells this guy? So yeah, we serve, we're part of Baroque Works. Like, what's his organization? Yeah. So we are removed from that, definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, and that one moment at the end of Alabasta when they all raise their hands with the X.
Yeah,
that was kind of the emotional climax for me. That's when I was I had tears in my eyes.
I prefer the emotional climax to Skypiea, actually.
Well, we'll see.
What?
The point is,
Really?
I don't cry.
Bro. That shit's amazing.
I don't cry because I'm a manly man, but I will, shed up a manly tear once in a while. But that's not crying, bro.
Though I feel it because Vivi was such a fucking champ.
I love Vivi.
Yeah. Vivi's amazing. She really.
I like Vivi, but she's not a Nami though.
What?
For real.
Did Robin have a fight yet in this arc?
Don't spoil.
Yeah, she did. She cracked some dude's neck.
Did she? Yeah, wait. She already had a fight at this point in time?
Yeah, she didn't have her main fight, I don't think, but she did some.
Yeah, it wasn't
random,
a fight. One of the guys was like, "Bah, I will defeat you." And
some fodder guy. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and she's just like, "Yeah, okay."
Bro, yo,
I don't think that guy was fodder. Like, that guy was actually strong, but she's just so OP against people that are
no. There is one guy that comes out that relatively he's strong. And there's he's a big boy, and I'm like, it's my boy. I'm not gonna say anything.
Right, let's wait. Let's say that for next week. Let's say that for next week.
That's my boy, son. Oh my god, love that man. But yeah, that's gonna be good stuff. Man,
it's so bad that we can't remember characters' names. It makes it so hard to bring up the part I want to talk about.
But introducing the priests is also funny because they're all also nutcases in their own way. They all have their weird mannerisms. Yes. Like there's that one guy, what's his name? Gotetsu, something like that.
Oh, the guy that he can't talk properly because
he can't talk. He's always biting his lip and mumbling. And
that's hilarious, man.
Is he the same guy that can't cross his arms properly?
Yeah.
He's trying to look menacing, and then it's like, bro, you're crossing your arms the wrong way.
Yeah,
I find that so funny. And then there's the other guy that every 2 seconds, whenever he speaks, he strikes this menacing pose with his glasses, where he puts his middle finger and the epic art and the shadow art in the manga, just
And the bald guy that's mad bubbly. He's doing a weird dance, looks so rotund. Yeah, dude. And they all hate each other. Yo, this guy's screw you, bro. What? Yo, give me that kill. What the hell? Come on, bro. Tired.
Yeah, and let me just say there are a few people in the chat saying Vivi is better than Nami. I really hope Vivi develops further than later on, because if you're saying that now, based on information so far, your taste is trash. And step off.
Nah.
Step off. Nami is a queen.
No, dude. Okay, yo. Simp is perfect, bro. This guy.
Bro, Nami is still my favorite Straw Hat. No jokes. And
she's your favorite Straw Hat, really?
Huh. So far, yeah. And I will say that I'm making a video soon about why simping for anime girls is morally superior to simping for 3D girls. So watch out for that,
superior. Guys. I mean, listen, man. They're morally 2D. They're 2D, so it's not like it's not like they can actually do anything to you, my dog. Unless you're just addicted, which is okay, fine.
But I have anime girls. We know that we're not getting anything out of it. Okay, with real girls, the whole issue is they make believe, they delude themselves into thinking there's a future when there isn't. But when it comes to anime girls, nah, fam.
Unless in the near future where they start doing some robotics, like 2B's real. It's like, oh shit, like nigga.
Yeah,
Fuck.
trust me, that's gonna happen, bro. They're gonna have like sex robots, and they're gonna infuse them with like personalities of fictional characters you like. By 2050, that shit's gonna be happening. 2050 at the latest.
At the latest? Damn, dude,
Can't wait to have Boa Hancock look down on me.
30 years down the line.
Oh man, Briggs with the taste.
No, I mean you can already have like
we
pretty
could allow
realistic,
these simpletons to argue about Nami, Vivi, and Robin.
What are those like 2D girls and like the
We stand above them all.
what are those like? Okay,
Oh,
what are those
yeah.
like home at home made something like in Japan, like those 2D girls like in like that weird like screen that welcomes you home,
man.
that kind of shit. Like could they take that and like put it into a fucking robot or some shit, and then it's like boom, here we go.
I'm waiting for Sword Art Online, where they turn your sword art online.
Oh god.
All right, back to One Piece.
Man.
Speaking of Nami and how much Animac loves Nami, I love the scene where Nami's able to ride the waiver effortlessly, and Luffy struggles so much and is so jealous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was good.
Yeah, there are a lot of great scenes. Like just the crew interactions. They're too numerous to count. But just like how they talk to each other is so amazing.
Yeah, I'm already expecting it. That the dynamic between the Straw Hats is awesome. So I don't even necessarily mention every moment, but there are a lot of awesome moments for sure.
Makes me sad, bro. Honestly.
What makes you sad?
No, because going over all the Skypiea stuff and where we are now, it's like, shit, man. Like, just because I don't want to spoil anything, but a lot of that interaction is something that I tremendously valued in the One Piece story at that point in time. So, when I think about it now, it's like, damn.
Yeah. I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that is the appeal of this podcast for people who are already caught up to One Piece but want to relive it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's great. It really is. Like, I kind of want to go back and read the story again. Again. Like, not even joking. But
great experience.
It really is. It's a tremendous experience.
A lot of the lighthearted nature, just like the snake popping out, and then you have Usopp and Luffy freaking out, and Sanji just kind of chilling, and
and like they're kind of mimicking Sanji, but Sanji's taking it seriously. He's like, "Yo, guys, stop messing around." Like when they have that joke of like they're going into like the trial of balls, and like Luffy's like, "What if like we just fought the Sky on?" And it's like, dude, don't be an idiot. We're not gonna fall. And then they get to like the waterfall, and they're like, no fucking way, dude. Like, no way.
Like the first thing Luffy does, all these orbs appear. He's like, all right, I'm gonna punch all of them.
Yeah. Oh man, bro. Oh
yeah,
I think we got
for
to see
Luffy,
a new attack from Luffy this arc. He used gum fireworks against those first little fodder guys.
Yes, he did. Yes.
I remember him using Gatling gun, but I don't remember fireworks.
It's when like he spins around, like he's in the air, like he spins both top and his bottom, like they just kind of like all rotate, and he just kind of like fires like every direction.
It's kind of like a Gatling gun that uses both his hands and feet while he's in the air and like spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, he has some crazy shit.
All right. I just went to this image because this is one of my favorite fights in the whole arc. Okay. It's glorious. It's like Luffy's like jumping and Sanji yells, "Luffy, don't fall into the river. It may be bottomless." And Luffy like falls through that fake river because like he just tries things. He doesn't really care about the consequences. And he's like, wow, that's so dangerous. He grabs on a vine. Usopp's like yelling how Usopp's so proud of his new weapon. And meanwhile, Luffy's just like swinging away. Usopp throws his belt at him with like a grappling hook at the edge of it.
Yeah.
And Luffy grabs it. Usopp jumps off, and then they're both swinging. They clobber each other, and they're on the ground, like completely beaten to a pulp. Probably because Sanji beat the crap out of them after they landed. And Sanji's like, "I'll forget about what just happened, but now you listen to my orders." And they're like, "Yeah, sorry, sir." It's like,
well,
that scene is so beautiful.
Usopp can't really talk because he ended up jumping into the ocean randomly, the dangerous fucking sky ocean. Like, what are you doing, Usopp? That's not you. That's a Luffy thing, bro.
I guess you
or when the guy in the next scene, the guy what's his name, orb guys, like after he hits Sanji with the impact dial, he's like, now then, 2 to go. Who disagrees? And then quickly Luffy and Usopp pick their hands up and Chopper's like last. And he's like, oh damn it. I don't know.
Speaking of Chopper, we had some comments in the chat about how the ship, the Going Merry, got burnt and then mysteriously repaired.
I
That wasn't explained yet, as if I recall correctly.
No, it was not. No. Oh man.
Speaking of I was talking to Corey Y. Eden, one of my editors and absolute mad lad YouTuber people, and he just finished the Skypiea arc, and he saw a certain scene in Water 7, and he was freaking out. So I'm very excited for that.
I'm excited for Animac, man.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say is someone said that I'm simping Nami so hard that I should change my name to Nami backwards. But here's the crazy thing, boys. Nami backwards is Iman, which is Pokemon's actual name, like her real name. That's fucking waifu-ception, bro. Waifu-ception right there.
While Boa Hancock lives above them all.
You guys are really, hyping up Boa Hancock.
And it's funny because when she's first introduced, Animac did hate her so much.
I know, right?
She better.
Oh my god.
She better really know how to use those
said
hands,
we should have come up with a code name for Boa Hancock. We call her from this moment Python Leg Penis, and that is it.
All right, the last one you didn't need, honestly. The 2 ones were great. Python Leg, awesome. The last one you didn't necessarily need. But now I guarantee you, when he gets to that point, he's like, you know what? Nux is wrong. Overrated. Stop lying, Nux. Come on, bro. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you. You just turned him off of that. But hopefully he realizes the potential of one Nico Robin. It's like, oh, you know what? Actually, fuck shit. Nico Robin's where it's at. Nico Robin's like fine wine. Right? You can't go wrong with that. Nami's like a can of Coke. Like, she's good for the moment, dog. That's it. Robin, though.
Did you just say that Nami's like a can of Coke?
Yes.
All right, fuck this. This stream is over. This stream is over. I'm not going to tolerate this lack of culture.
Meanwhile, the absolute gamer Boa Hancock is the G Fuel in the situation, completely looking down upon the Stims.
Bro, she always makes you feel up.
Nami is a fine brandy.
Yo, actually, there is. I don't know about that, but she's all right.
She might kick you in the throat.
Then there's Big Mom, who's chocolate.
But she makes you feel warm.
Big Mom. Wow, man. Big Mom is all world. She's all woman, man. That shit right there is powerful. Bro, dude, her family shit. Damn, she has the facts to prove it.
Animac is gonna simp for that MILF so hard.
100%. 100%.
I don't know, man. I'm excited. There's apparently a lot of MILFs coming in this series.
There's a lot, bro.
I'm liking this.
Out of curiosity, would you put Kureha under your radar, dog?
Kureha.
The grandma, the doctor in Drum Island, the old one, 140 years old, strong.
Oh, yeah, like 100 years earlier, probably.
Bruh, she'd slap the shit out of you right now. She doesn't look like day over like 43.
Exactly. She looks like she's in her 60s, bro. Let's be real. But she does look like a total badass. So I bet 100 years earlier she was probably a dime piece.
So we're talking about like a gilf, like actual, just like whoa, 140 minus 50 years. Will that be acceptable for you? No.
I don't know, man. I gotta see what she would look like.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, look at what she looks like at 140. At like
exactly.
At like 90, I feel like she'd still probably be
Animac level.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, clearly this has turned into a much more interesting discussion than Skypiea.
Clearly.
But thank you for joining us.
That's why.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. Thank you, King of Lightning, for being our guest here on the One Piece Virgin. I think for the first time.
Yes. Time on the One Piece Virgin, not first time.
Exactly.
But he's been on the Rant Cafe, yes.
Yes, I have, yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. And of course, thank you, Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs!
Nux and Briggs. Jesus.
I'm really looking forward to seeing where Skypiea goes. I do think that Enel is a very cool villain so far with a lot of potential.
It sounds like a hardware store, Nux and Briggs.
Yeah, see, this is the thing.
That's right, Nux and Briggs. We get shiz done.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
King, this is the thing. If you say Nux and Briggs, Nux can't help but repeat it singing.
Dude, I don't blame him, bro. It's like a jingle, bro. Like Celino and Barnes, like 100, 888, like yo, like make this happen, bro. Like what the fuck? How's that happen yet? Like Nux and Briggs, make a jingle. That'd be amazing, bro. Yo, someone in chat, help these lads out. Make them a jingle. Like yo,
if you live in either New York State or Ontario, you've heard of Celino and fucking Barnes.
Yes,
man.
absolutely, bro.
800-299-9001.
Yeah,
Nux and Briggs.
Bro, please. Someone help out Nux and Briggs. Make it a real thing. That'd be amazing.
We have a guy just for that. We have Rusty.
Love it, bro. Oh, shit.
Anyway, very important point is about Enel. At the end of the day, at this point in the arc, you're looking at this man and you're like, bruh, this is the first invincible character in One Piece.
And Enel and Enaru are just different pronunciations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
L.
Yeah. Like some folks say Enaru, some folks say, like I say, I know.
Yeah, I just saw it said Enaru in the Viz translation.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to.
But you don't call Zoro Zolo, do you?
No, just because everyone told me that was a.
Yeah, bro.
No.
If you did that, people would be so pissed, man. Like, what? How dare you, man? You're not a One Piece fan. Here you come, Zolo.
Don't give it up, Zolo.
Yeah. Yo, that rap is amazing, bro.
Yeah, it is, man. I'm telling you. By the way, speaking of that, big shout out to Toby Kwan over on Twitter. He rapped the whole One Piece Virgin One Piece rap that was in the review last week. He rapped the whole thing, posted it on Twitter. I shared it, and it's actually quite epic.
Ooh.
It's quite epic. Yo, we should make that the intro to this episode.
Yeah, we will. I'm gonna add some background music. It's gonna be dope. Or his variation. I'll do it.
Now we're thinking.
Thank you.
Streaming, don't give it up. Animax streaming. Don't give it up. Nuxie streaming. Don't give it up. Briga.
My favorite part is he's a man of culture because he thinks Kira's wife's hot.
I gotta see Kira's wife. I gotta see because I swear to God. Hold on, out of curiosity, I know I'm deviating, but it's like on a scale of like a lot of folks like JoJo's Part 4 the most. I don't see how, but do you?
See, I don't, and Nux does, and Nux oversold Part 4 to me so hard, and I was just kind of like, yeah, this is decent, but it's not nearly as epic as I thought it would be because I probably like 3 and 2 slightly more than 4.
Okay, all right.
I stand Part 2. I think Part 2 is like you don't get like 16 episodes of anime that surpass Part 2 pretty much. But as far as Part 4 goes, I think the latter half of Part 4 is the best.
That's what everyone says. Everyone says
the best
Kira
part
this,
of JoJo.
Kira that. I hope he's amazing. I really.
He is.
Everyone says Kira this, Kira that, but I say Kira's wife, bro.
Okay.
So for me,
for me, he's top 5 anime villains, but Animac did not like him.
For me, it goes Part 2.
Dislike him. I just didn't think he was as great as you made him out to be. So yeah.
Well, Nux is good at that. He's good at overhyping. But he is great.
Like video coming out tomorrow. Like why Kira is like one of the best villains.
No one understands Kira.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I made a video. No one understands Kira. Okay.
Part 2 incoming.
To me, Dio is a better villain than Kira.
I gotta see this. I really gotta see. All right, I'm sorry for derailing that.
Dio's a better meme, but not a better villain.
I like Dio better, but I think Kira is more better written and more intriguing. But for me, I was gonna say Part 2, Part 5, 4 and 3 tied, and then 1.
I love Part 5.
Can you really be like, oh, I want a simple life versus I want to rule the world and have a harem of vampire women and fucking have a palace in Egypt? Like, come on.
All right, just no spoilers. I'm sorry. Just get it out there. My apologies.
Yeah, no, we'll pick up this JoJo talk on the next episode of the One Piece.
Yeah, invite me, absolutely, because I'll
you,
probably
guys.
done by part 4 by then. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Thank you guys for joining us, and we're back again next week, and we're also doing the Rant Cafe on Thursdays. Rantcafe.tv if you want to watch us live. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang.
Later, y'all.